Hey guys, welcome to the channel. I'm Mark from Labyrinth Studios. Today I'm reacting to a young female Russian singer. Let me just check what her name is. Diana Ankudinova. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. So this one was recommended to me by a commenter on one of my other videos, so thank you for the recommendation. I always love the recommendations I get from you guys. I've had some great ones, and yeah, it's fun to sort of have this journey that I'm having doing these videos, discovering a lot of cool new music in many different genres. I'm going to read what the commenter said about this singer, as I think it's a good sort of preface to the video and why I thought it would be an interesting one to react to. So the commenter Encryptor46, they say, I'd like to hear your thoughts on the teenage Russian singer Diana Ankudinova. Again, I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that right. She is a young contralto, which I understand to be rare. I don't know what a contralto is. Maybe we can Google that. Let's Google that. Ah, okay. So the lowest female singing voice. Okay. That's interesting to know. It is said she has an unusual larynx that produces polyphonic overtones. Being 75 with some hearing deficit, I still find her phenomenally addictive, and thought that perhaps your association with sound would find her sound of interest. Just be careful about getting hooked. So yeah, I'm definitely intrigued. I'm excited to check this one out. So yeah, contralto singer, so she's got a lower vocal range, I guess. She has the ability, I've heard of some singers being able to do this, where they can produce polyphonic overtones. So it essentially is like it's almost sort of like two voices happening at once. The second voice that's there is more of a sort of overtone, so it won't be as full-bodied as the rest of the singing voice, the sort of main part of what they're singing, if that makes sense. I don't really know the best technical way to explain it, but you know, I understand the way that I hear it. So yeah, I imagine that's what is going to be going on here. But let's have a listen to the song. So this is a live performance, I think, and it's called Wicked Game, so I'm guessing that this is a cover of the Chris Isaak song of the same name, but we'll see. Anyway, let's get into it. I hope you guys enjoy my reaction. Okay, here we go. This is the Chris Isaak song.
The world was on fire.
Oh, no, it is.
No one could save me but you. It's strange what desire will make foolish people do. I never dreamed that I need somebody like you.
Okay, I'm going to stop it there. So this is obviously the Russian version of The Voice, which I think the show originated in the UK. I don't really know. I don't watch a ton of these shows. I did watch some of The Voice when it first started, but yeah, I don't really watch much television these days. But yeah, this is the Russian version, I guess, of that show. It looks like maybe the first round, so her first sort of televised performance. Yeah, definitely be interested to read up on her history more. Really quite stunning voice. I wasn't expecting that Obviously, I was expecting a lower voice, a lower range singing voice, but the tonality there, it's very rich and full-bodied, and just has some really nice, like, harmonic content is the only way I could describe it. So, you know, when you think, when you sing a note or when you produce a note, you essentially have a collection of sine waves. So it's layers and layers of tones stacked up almost on top of each other, is the way I would describe it. Together, harmonically, they produce what we would describe as an actual melodic sound, a melodic note. On its own, a sine wave sounds very bare. I mean, we all know the sound of, you know, a tone noise, like when you're on the phone and you get the engaged tone or whatever, when the line's busy. That is essentially a sine wave. What am I getting at here? There are elements, if you like, so some of those sine waves that are producing the overall body of her singing voice, that there's some nice sort of harmonic distortion and earthiness and grit going on. Like I say, it's just very rich. There's a very unique body going on there in her voice. She does have some unique inflections and enunciations with the way she's singing. I think on some of the vowels, maybe. Wasn't paying enough attention. I was more kind of just caught on the tonality of her voice, but it reminded me of Shakira, the singer Shakira, the way she enunciates with some of her words. I think part of it is, you know, when you're singing not in your first language. When people are singing, for a lot of people, their accents don't really come through, but for some people they do, and some of her accent, her native accent is sort of coming through here. English not being her first language, I imagine, as she's a Russian singer. Yeah, I think that kind of adds to the uniqueness of her vocal as well. I couldn't hear any of the sort of polyphonic stuff that was mentioned just yet. I mean, maybe I could, if that is what is being referred to. There was something going on there, but then at the same time I couldn't tell whether that was just the compression going on the vocal and some of the sort of post-processing doing some interesting stuff. Sometimes you end up getting some sort of artifacting if things are overly processed, and there could be some pitch correction on here. These shows are notorious for what they end up doing in post to a vocal to make it sound better. The same way, you know, they'll edit in shots of the audience applauding or booing or you know, giving whatever reaction that it looks like it's happened in that moment in response to what we're seeing of the performance, but quite often it isn't. Those are from a completely separate instance, or sometimes they literally film the audience, they get them to give a bunch of different rounds of applause and different reactions and then edit that in throughout, you know, whatever performances are going on. Anyway, I digress. The point is there could be, you know, some of the post-processing going on her vocal could be some of what I'm hearing. Let's listen to some more and see if we can pick up some more on this polyphonic element to her voice that has been talked about.
What we get game to play.
Okay, yeah, no.
To make me
Here we go.
feel this way. What we getting to do to let me dream of you. What we getting to say. You never felt this way. What we getting to do to make me dream of you.
Yeah, that's quite amazing, really. Yeah, I thought I'd heard elements of it. Maybe there was some of that creeping in, but definitely that was when the polyphonic element to her voice was really kicking in. It's a hard one to explain. It slightly boggles the mind because it's almost like a sort of melding of voices that whenever we have anything that we're not used to hearing or seeing that's not our usual sort of understanding of natural, you know, the way we would expect a natural voice to sound, it does kind of do something to the wiring in your brain where you're a little bit like, what am I hearing? Yeah, it's quite mesmerizing in that sense. It really is. I've heard other singers with this kind of element to their voice where there's quite an obvious sort of octave above. Yeah, it is almost like it's adding another voice, but in the same way they meld together, so it still sounds like one voice. It's really hard to describe, but it just is quite beautiful and quite mesmerizing. Let's listen to the rest of the track.
I don't wanna fall in love. No, I don't wanna fall in love. And no one could save me but you.
Yeah, that was really quite mesmerizing. Very, very beautiful performance. I kind of wish it wasn't in the context of this show, as I feel like she just deserves a better representation than that. I don't know, I don't know when this was from and what she's gone on to do now, but I hope she's experienced or is experiencing plenty of success, because yeah, she's got a very, very unique and very special talent with a voice like that. It's really quite something, but I think particularly when you have people, you can have great musicians, and that is certainly something to be celebrated in itself, and to be applauded and to hopefully have success with. But when you get musicians who are very uniquely themselves and are able to do something that generally most other people just would not be able to replicate in the same way, that is something really special. That's that kind of like next level sort of thing, where it doesn't really matter like how good a musician you are. Being a musician myself, and I sing a bit, obviously I'm not a woman, so it's part of it, but even if I was, I could not sing like she does, because I don't have that capability to have a very unique natural gift like that is quite amazing. Yeah, I don't know, I mean, maybe it is something that can be learned to an extent. Yeah, like I say, I kind of wish it wasn't in the context of being on a show like The Voice, that performance, because it did deserve more than that. That's just my personal thoughts on it. I felt like the sort of post-production and the extra shimmer and some of the delays they were bringing in on her voice stripped away some of the authenticity a little bit for me. But that is of that's not sort of me commenting on her performance. It's just me commenting on those kind of shows. There's a really lovely like breathiness to her voice, even though you have that rich kind of body that was really like guttural, really coming from below. But there was also like an overtone where there was this really nice breathiness and air that like lifted her voice at the same time. Yeah, I don't think there's much more I can say. Wow, what a performance. I hope you guys enjoyed my reaction and my lack of expertise on this very unique subject, this very unique voice, but I hope you enjoyed my thoughts on it and my reaction anyway. Thank you to the commenter that recommended this to me. It was a really enjoyable watch and listen, and I'll definitely look up some more of her performances because I'm quite intrigued now, and I want to hear more of that voice, definitely. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, give the video a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, if you're new here, to stay up to date on the latest videos that I'm putting out. I do plenty of other Reacts videos like this, Sound Engineer Reacts. There is a playlist on my channel under that name, and I also do plenty of other studio videos, reviews, vlogs, all that kind of stuff. If you're interested in studio stuff and music production, then you have come to the right place. I will see you guys again in the next one.